Welcome, everyone, to Chestnut Hill, home of the Boston College Eagles, where fans are quickly filling up Alumni Stadium in anticipation of a terrific clash we have ahead. Today, a couple of teams getting set to square off in an ACC battle. As we'll see, the Duke Blue Devils taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Boston College Eagles. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Blue Devils will kick it away to start us off. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. So Boston College's offense will go to work first. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
Now on first down from the 30. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Harris. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks. And the Golden Eagles can really attack on this second and short. Gives it on the option. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They're going to go to the air on third and short. The throw to the outside is complete. Gets it out across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 42 as this offense trying to put together a good drive. They go to the ground. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Tried to pound it on first down. Now back to the line. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle. It's Moore. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down. First one is away, and boy, did he put in work in that loss last week, kicking it 5 times. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. So the Duke Blue Devils offense will take the field for the first time. And, David, their quarterback hasn't always blown you away statistically, but he is a guy that the coaches trust.
Yeah, and he'll show you some flashes of why you should trust him, Reese. But here's the thing. This is not a guy that we're saying, go win me the football game. That's not where he's at right now in his career. Jesse, he's a guy that needs the others. They got to help him out. They got to play on schedule, not make those mistakes, and guys really play well around him.
Yeah, David, the one thing quarterbacks don't want to be referred to as is a game manager, but that's really more what this guy is. You're right. They have to be able to run the football. They can't turn it over. They got to play great defense. If they do that in this game, he's good enough to get this win.
Off play action. Got it in the middle. It's Brown. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a first down. And the Blue Devils headed quickly to the line.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down. And they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
What a run. Gets it inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 36.
And how about that? Right after they get the explosive play running the ball, they're going right back to the line of scrimmage for some tempo.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Got his man to the left. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. They'll send the back in motion. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly. The Blue Devils with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Looking to throw, it's Mahan. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7. Quarterback on the keeper. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Duke.
And you see the option being such a pain in the behind of the best programs in college football. When you got quarterbacks that have those multiple options, they're making you play very disciplined, and the QB takes it himself, gets in for the score.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They put together an 81-yard drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Boston College sending the offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
They'll snap it on 1st down from the 35. Right back to the well. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The Golden Eagles trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. With the catch, it's Harris. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. That's caught. It's Harris. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line. This Boston College offense has it working. They'll run it from the gun. Sweet cut there. Stop just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down. Just going to keep it after the snap. Kept it and he's past the marker. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. And the Golden Eagles just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Catch in the middle, it's Moore. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. Looking for the touchdown on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Boston College! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
The extra point here would tie the game. And the extra point splits the uprights. They march 79 yards on the drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. To the air, it's Mahan. And he tried to string out that run, but there was nowhere to turn it upfield, and he's forced out of bounds for a loss. They'll keep it on the ground. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. And the Blue Devils will hustle to the line. Looking to throw on 3rd. High coverage and an incomplete pass. The defense knocks it away and forces a 4th down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Handoff from the shotgun. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and we'll get ready to change sides for the second quarter. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. We've got a good one going here, and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Back to pass. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Hits him inside the 20, still going. Touchdown, Boston College. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Fellas, a big-time top 25 duel. Let's get right to the pictures. Oregon has the lead currently at Autzen Stadium, but that typically dynamic offense just hasn't been able to pull away. They're up by a field goal over Arizona State. If anything changes in this pivotal Pac-12 matchup, guys, you know we're here to bring it to you.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. This freshman quarterback is slinging it out there to pick up that first down.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
And he was greeted by a host of defenders and barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Motion from the back. Dropping back, it's Mahan. Takes the easy throw in the flat. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. Got a man, it's Brown. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down. You know, Jesse, they threw that to him in double coverage, and I like that sometimes because you can't let the defense just dictate what you're going to do.
No, they're going to make sure he gets his, Reese, no doubt about it. They're going to force it over to him, hoping that he can make a play and knowing that he can. But as a defense, you got to be careful doubling him because that means somebody else is wide open.
On the move, it's Denson. They'll make the stop at the 42. It's a pickup of 5, and that will be enough for a first down.
Well, you got to be able to turn the page quickly on defense. Just gave up a first down on the ground, but here comes tempo. You've got to get lined up.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. He'll take the deep shot. Snags it, and he will score. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
And a really nice job by the quarterback. He drops back. He knows where he's going with the football. You can tell. He sees this guy coming from left to right, running that post down the middle of the field, throws it perfect timing to his receiver. He catches the football, takes it into the end zone.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And the point after is good. So a drive there of 85 yards. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. BC has it back, and the Eagle offense returns to the field. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Makes the grab. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Big play to start this drive. Now they'll snap it from the 39. Leaves it with the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Grabbed in the middle. It's Moore. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Firing to the right, complete. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Moore. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And that's a huge play by the defense. Great job and great effort getting to the ball carrier and swatting at the football, knocking it out, and then falling on it for a massive fumble recovery.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. Shows him the stiff arm.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
Looking for a man. It's Mahan. Strong pass rush. Gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He finds a soft spot in the middle. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
The Blue Devils want to pick up the tempo.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in.
Turning it on! He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit. And the Blue Devils come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, the running back has it. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Duke!
And the running back was not going to be denied on that play. He had a hole, he saw it, he put his foot in the ground, and that was pay dirt.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, the score is now 21-14. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the scoring play came on the 12-yard run. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. BC has the ball back, hoping for a party in the mods. Wants to go up top on first down. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Going to take a shot on 2nd and short. It's complete to the right. And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be at the 35. New set of downs after the completion. Motion from the wide receiver. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. It's Wilkins. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake on first down. And the DB forcing the incomplete pass with the deflection. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Lockwood. Look, you can't take away everything, right? So you give them that and rally and make a solid tackle.
Yeah, and a lot of times in zone coverage, I like when I can get all the eyes on the quarterback. I like when I can see the routes and see them develop in the middle. And you could tell they had keys on the tight end. He wasn't going anywhere after he caught that football.
Boston College lining up to punt this one away. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. And we've seen a tremendous show from this freshman. Picked off. They turn over in their own end. They got him down pretty quickly after the pick, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Snagged in the middle. It's Edwards. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. They're going back to the ground. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. Shotgun snap on 3rd down. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
Yeah, that's a great job. And listen, this quarterback's had success. He's already thrown for 2 touchdowns. We got to make him feel uncomfortable. This is still early in the game. Nice job by the defense, getting a hit on the quarterback and making him think a little bit.
It's wise not to be too greedy, and they'll go ahead and send out the field goal unit. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. It's good. That'll bring him to within 4.
And that's a really good response by this defense. Their offense throws an interception, puts them in bad field position. They respond with a stop, force a field goal. Yeah, they got 3 points, but great job by this defense.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll try the run. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. To the air, it's Mahan. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier. He lobs one high down the left side. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. The Blue Devils will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. They'll snap it from the 37 for the first play of this drive. Going right to work up top. The sure hands, it's Edwards.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. And you just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
Yeah, and you see some people get upset with offsides in the defense. I call it the cost of doing business. It's just part of being great off the football. Sometimes you'll guess, and sometimes you'll be wrong. The first one is...
He'll off one deep down the left side. Catch and stride inside the 15. Touchdown, Eagles. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
You know, sometimes as a play caller, you just don't have to overthink things. I've got a guy who's faster than your guys, and he's just going to run straight down the field. I'm going to throw it way down the field. He's going to make the catch, and we're going to score a touchdown, and that's pretty much what just happened there.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Top 15 teams colliding, fellas, in a game of massive importance. Let's catch you up to speed. Georgia is running away with this one, thanks to an offense that's been sicking them since the opening kickoff. They're up by 27 over Auburn. Just another week of SEC football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Power football with the run. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Back to throw, it's Mahan. Makes the grab, it's Brown.
Yeah, you throw a little hitch route. Nice job getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Wide receiver, quarterback. Nice job being on the same page. Nice completion, nice catch.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. He'll pull it on the read. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Just had a solid pickup on first. Now let's see what they've got on second down. Inside the 25. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
They're going to ride this running back. There he goes. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. The lead now 6 here in the second.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And he takes this from inside the 5. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority 1. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, you've been taking in some scene there today in Chestnut Hill. And this has just been a passing clinic, really, by both offenses. They've effectively stretched these defenses, forcing the secondaries to cover every blade of grass, and they've still racked up big plays. Man or zone, pick your poison, or lay some blame at the feet of those pass rushers who can't do anything against the maulers on that offensive line. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Alumni Stadium.
Boston College ready to kick things off and start the second half. Looking for blockers. And the returner goes down. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Those two first-half turnovers really damaging, and the primary reason they find themselves trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're playing angry right now. They're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game, so I expect them to come out here, lighten it up here for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
He'll keep it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. And the Blue Devils are in the hurry-up. Looking for a man. It's Mahan. Unloads it left. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. That incompletion is an engraved invitation to the punt team. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. Boston College sending the offense back onto the field. He'll start this drive firing. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. Backed up now, here's second and long. They'll move the wide receiver. Second down, he'll throw it. Grabbed over the middle, it's Harris. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Looking to throw for him. He hurls one deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Boston College will send out the punt team. He'll get it out to about the 20-yard line, and that's where they'll mark him down. So, guys, we'll get another look at this offense. Off-play action on first down. The sure hands, it's Brown. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. The Blue Devils will send out the punt unit. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. BC has it back, and the Eagle offense returns to the field. To the ground with the back. And he has had a long day at the office, not to mention the backfield, as the defense has been all over him. To the air on second down.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Good job running that route to get past the sticks, because he got nothing after the catch. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. They'll go with a direct snap. Fights off a defender.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like, the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Got it in the middle. It's Edwards. Just what they'd hoped for on third down, as they've got a first at the 32. Quick completion to the right. Finds a crease at the 20. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. The Golden Eagles kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Caught behind the line. It's Harris. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Trying play action. Going for 6. Throw to the end zone. Picked off.
Well, this offense really felt coming into today that they were going to have to throw the football. And for the most part, David, this quarterback has been lights out. That time, though, he lets it get away from him a little bit, and that was a critical INT for the defense and their confidence.
They needed something, man. They've given up a lot of yards, and that's the thing about the defense. Just sometimes it can change in one play. They make the interception, they force the turnover, and hopefully, for their sake, maybe get in the quarterback's head just a little bit.
And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds. And the Blue Devils want to crank the tempo. Back to pass. It's Mahan. Fires to the wideout. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down. Wow, this offense is doing nothing. They've already punted 4 times and staring at the possibility of a 5th. Unloads to the wideout. Another incompletion on 3rd down. The Blue Devils will call on their punt team. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. BC has the ball back, hoping for a party in the mods. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the windows are smaller, and that's what happens down near the goal line, David. But for this quarterback here, just take accountability and ownership and come out here and lead your offense.
And move on. Like, we needed points. That's something that we can harp on. We'll watch the tape this week, but now it's time to move on. Let's get another drive going.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged out of the air. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the 1st down. Boston College lining up to punt this one away. He makes the fair catch, and they'll spot the ball at the 18. And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Got enough for the 1st. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. With the 1st down, they'll put it in play from the 33. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Now the play fake. Looking to the big tight end. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He's got the sidelines going nuts as he gets it down to the 18-yard line. And the Blue Devils will snap it on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Got enough space. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there. He'll do it himself. Headed toward the end zone, and they knock it loose. Woo. Deep. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a 2nd look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. This quarterback, part of their running game. He's going to lose a yard on that one. The Blue Devils want to move quickly. Looking to throw on 3rd and goal. On the run, still looking. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now, and I'm using my athleticism, and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, one of the biggest games of the week is playing out right now. Let's check in on this top 25 battle. Michigan is currently ahead in this one in a jam-packed big house, but it's been close so far. They're up by 7 over Penn State. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this Big Ten battle.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And the Golden Eagles with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. Flushed out in the pocket. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down. They had the first down before that penalty backed them up, and now they'll snap it on 2nd down. Back to pass on 2nd down. Finds his tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. Not sure exactly what led to that, whether the protection wasn't right or the quarterback just didn't see it, but the result was a negative play and a sack.
Well, one thing I do know is that quarterback had no chance to get that ball downfield. That pocket was breaking down, and it was breaking down quickly. There were just too many bodies in that backfield for the QB to make anything happen.
Boston College will send out the punt team. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Back to throw, it's Mahan. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. Ripping through the defense and getting it all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
They'll go up top on 2nd and short. He's got it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Duke.
And this receiver is on fire. He's got all the skills that you look for in a big-time target. And that's already his 2nd touchdown of the game.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. From the gun, the give, looking for room. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22. 2nd down coming up. That's the end of the period, and Duke has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Off the play fake. Throws to the wideout. That's caught. It's Harris. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Finds his man. It's Wilkins. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Slithers into space. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. He'll keep it on the sneak. That's a fumble on the play. That football must be riveted to your rib cage. How can you let it go? At least they fell on it. Tries to get it on the ground. They knock him down, but they'll mark it beyond the line to gain, and it's a first down for Boston College. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Under fire.
Hey, 4th and short, it's time to be physical. You give it to your running back. You can see he gets physical, gets downhill, gets the first down.
Quarterback keeps it. Breaks the tackle. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. He'll sneak it and try to surge forward.
And, David, on 3rd and inches right there, that's often a decision the quarterback predetermines. Who's my best guard? That's the guy I'm going to try to get behind.
And I know that defensively, too, but I'm just trying to dive and create a pile, but it's so hard to stop.
Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. Boston College coming to the line after moving the chains. They'll give it to him again. Running behind those pads, he gets a couple before he stopped at the 18. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Just when they're looking run, now up top. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The offense coughs it up. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
And how about the defense coming through in the clutch? You're up. You want to maintain that lead. You've given up a bunch of yardage. What do? You bow your neck, create the turnover, get the ball back to the offense. Offense, go do your job. We're going to win this football game.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. This freshman behind center has certainly lived up to billing so far. A most impressive outing. It's as if he's seeing things. And the heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line.
And I think if you're the head coach here, you kind of got mixed reviews on your passing attack so far because, yes, you've thrown for a bunch of yards and you've thrown a couple touchdowns, but you've also given up 4 sacks now. Pass protection has not been great, even though they've got the lead in this game.
And the Blue Devils now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Quarterback on the keeper. Fighting off the defender. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
And that right there, probably the biggest play in this game so far. The offense has the lead, and they're just trying to run the football to run this clock out. But the defense able to knock it out, jump on it. Now all of a sudden, this game has a completely different feel.
Boston College sending the offense back onto the field. Ball security going to be paramount this time, Jesse.
Yeah, and sense of urgency, too. They're trailing in this game right now. The turnover wasn't great. So, David, they really got to be able to put something positive together on this drive.
Put something positive together. Be aggressive, but don't be reckless. Can't have any more of those turnovers.
They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. They want to throw it. Here's the pressure. And the quarterback caught up 2 and sacked at the 12.
Quarterback just has to be more aware of the situation. 1st down, goal-to-go situation. You cannot take a sack. So the QB, if no one's open, you got to make sure you're throwing that ball out of the end zone and helping your offense out.
defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Gets the back moving. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Got it in the middle. It's Lockwood. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. They're going to throw it on 3rd and goal. Let's it fly. And they can't quite hook up trying to make a completion in the back corner of the end zone. Trailing and getting deep in the game, they'll go for it here on 4th and goal. Under fire. They got him. Big stop in the backfield, and what a stand by this defense to keep points off the board.
And that's the world we live in. You want to be aggressive. You want to get touchdowns. You don't want to kick field goals. Analytics says this. Well, now you get no points. And the defense bows up in a big part of the field, gets the big sack on 4th down and goal.
And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. And this young signal caller is playing well beyond his years. And the QB has more than had his weight as lighting up the secondary and the scoreboard, Jesse.
Yeah, and Reese, talking to the coaches coming into this one, they felt like they had a real opportunity in this game to throw the football with success, understanding just how talented their quarterback is. And he's really answered the bell. He's done a really nice job with his decisions. He's played on time. He's been accurate. And this offense has been up and down the field in large part because of how well their quarterback is playing.
The Blue Devils come to the line in the hurry-up.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Cross the 30 out to the 33 and gains 4 on the play.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Tight end now in motion. He'll pull it on the read. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Looking to throw, it's Mahan. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. And the Blue Devils will bring the punt team onto the field. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. He makes a fair catch, couple of steps inside his own 25 at the 23-yard line. BC has it back, and the Eagle offense returns to the field. Grabbed behind the line, it's Wilkins. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. Line getting set on 2nd down. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. And now on 2nd down for this offense. Back to pass. That's caught. It's Wilkins. He's across the 30 and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. The Golden Eagles come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. He's going to look for a man on 3rd and short. Catch in the middle, it's Wilkins. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's 1st down at the 38. Wants to throw on 1st down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Wants to throw again. Fires to the big fella. Finds enough room to get it up to the 44 before he's knocked out of bounds. And the Golden Eagles really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. Rushes on him. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. And this feels like the exclamation point. The defense with a scoop and score.
It's really hard as a quarterback because you got your eyes downfield. You're trying to find an open guy. You're trying to negotiate the rush, and all of a sudden people are swatting at the ball. They hit you. They knock it out. Got to do a better job next time of keeping 2 hands on the ball so you don't get it scooped and scored like what happened right there.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point splits the uprights, and the lead balloons to 15. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, here's a quick update on a top 15 clash today. Georgia is currently up big at this moment, so much so, they're on the verge of giving UGA the rest of the day off. They're up by 29 over Auburn. We'll keep an eye on things until the final horn in a game that could shake things up a bit in the SEC.
He lost one down the sideline. And they can't make the connection going for a big play on first down. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Throws for the tight end. Grabbed in the middle. It's Moore. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Looking downfield on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Got him downfield. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Quickly to the tight end. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
And this one is just about in the books. The defense can stop the clock one more time as the offense takes a knee. Winning those individual 6-second battles every play, time after time after time after time, and that leads to a victory here.
And I love when teams go out and play like it's sudden death. Like if they lose the game, their entire season is over. This game wasn't for the national championship, but you wouldn't know that watching this winning team, David. Tremendous effort and tremendous execution.
I love competitive people. I love competitive coaches. I love competitive teams that they know that their job is to go out and get a W no matter where you play. You want to play in the parking lot? We'll go meet you. Great job of this team being ready, getting the W.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.